Hello and welcome to the ScrapbookPal YouTube channel. I'm Jill Cameron Creations. We're going to card using the Fawn Peekaboo pop-up die as well as the Snowball Fight stamp and die set. I'm using two different colors of cardstock. One's a medium tone blue and the other one is a metallic finished white cardstock. The interactive card goes together very simply, and it's not a lot of moving parts to it to figure out. What you want to do first is go ahead and cut two panels of the main interactive piece. One we're going to cut in half using the hillside die, and the other one we're going to leave whole. You want to make sure that your fold lines are opposite of each other, and the only measurement that you need is 2 3/4. And that just gives the hill a really good height to make sure that any of the interactive pieces that you use are hidden behind the hillside. How you orient this card, the two main things that you need to remember is that 2 3/4 measurement, and to fold each of the top piece and the back piece opposite from each other so that they kind of stair step together. You want to make sure that your fold lines are creased really well so that you have an easy action on the pop-up part. So let's go ahead and check it out, make sure we got this correct. There we go. See, they're opposite of each other. And now we're going to go ahead and create our background piece so we can set that aside to dry for a few minutes. I'm using Faded Jeans Distress Oxide ink and a Dome blender. I inked it up really well one time, and then I'm just going to fade this down into this medium tone blue cardstock. This saved so much time ink blending a background. It was a lot of fun. We're also going to do some splatters on here. I'm using Distress Stain, and this is White Picket Fence. If you don't have Distress Stain, you can also use white acrylic paint. Works really well. These are the mechanisms for the inside of our card. These are the three different mechanisms that go on the inside of your card to make the actual pop-up. These allow for the pop-up to be in different places because of the width and the length of each of the arms and how they work on the inside. We're going to use the one that has the smallest triangle on it, and I'm just going to cut this out of blue cardstock so it blends in with the background, and we're going to Copic color our images really quickly, and then we are going to finish up our card. When I sat down to color these, I just literally snatched a bunch of colors out of my Copic colors and started coloring and paid no attention to what colors they were until after I was getting ready to write them down. They are just browns, the earth tones, and a gray. And then I also did a pink for the hats and the scarves, and also a dark teal for the hats and the scarves. And I kept the coloring really simple so that this would go really quickly and be just a fun card to create. So the colors that I used are C7, C5, C1, E71, 74, 77, 31, 35, 37, B000 for the snow, for the snowmans and all the snowballs and the ice cubes. And then I did R21 for the inside of the ears and the cheeks, RV95, there's that pink for the hats and the scarves, and then also BG75. Like I said, I just kept this super simple. I colored in the face around the edges with a mid-tone color, and then went on the inside of the faces with the lighter ones. And anybody that had little bellies showing, I used the lighter color on that, and then I just took a darker marker and put in some of the shadow areas in my coloring. If you've never colored with Copic markers before, a 3-color blend is a really great place to start. It gives you the opportunity to have that light, medium, and dark, and add a little bit of shading into small images like this. And you can also color great big flowers with those 3-color blends very easily to get the hang of blending with alcohol markers. Here is that BG color, which is BG75. And instead of coloring in the hats and the scarves solid or adding a bunch of different colors to them, I colored like the top part of their hat a solid, and then added dots to the little puff on the hat and stripes to the band on the hat. And I just alternated them in different ways. And I also did the stripes on the scarf for the snowman. Actually, that's a snow mouse. That's not a snowman, that is a snow mouse. because why would mice build a snowman? So yes, that's a snow mouse. And then I just colored all of like the flag in the solid pink, dark pink color. And I'm going in and putting in some little cheeks and the inside of their ears. I did all of that with R21. And just real simple. I just wanted to give the illusion that the snow was cold. So I did that with the B000. And I colored all of the bricks on the same side, a line down and a swoop across, and did the same thing with all of the stacked up snowballs. Very simple coloring here. Everything, I went ahead and die cut all of my images out, and I laid everything out how I wanted it to dry fit it on the card. The first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and stamp my sentiment, and the block I had setting out for that was too small, so I had to find a bigger one real quick. I'm stamping this in black ink, and I'm using the same ink that I stamped my images in, which is Lawn Fawn Jet Black ink. And make sure this is lined up on the bottom. Sorry, my big old head gets in the way here. And stamp that down. And now we're going to start putting our card together. To do this, very simply, I put the right hand side down first. I put that flat side down first. And I'm using Scor-Tape. You use a really strong dry adhesive for this. If you use liquid adhesive and it sneaks out the edge of it, then you're going to run the risk of your mechanism not working completely or it not opening up like it should, that kind of thing. So just be very cautious of that. And I'm going to turn this sideways just so it's easier to set this down on here and press it down really well and make sure. For the mechanism, you're going to fold the flaps away from you and score those down, and then you're going to fold the arm part of it away from you so that you have this weird flag looking thing. The arm is going to go towards the inside, and that one teeny tiny little triangle is where we're going to put adhesive. Now I did put some liquid adhesive on this, and I spread it around using the pointer of my pokey tool. And the reason that I did do this is because it's such a small area. I really wanted to make sure that it stuck. And I know I just said if you use liquid adhesive to be really careful and don't let it sneak out. And this is one reason why I went ahead and used my pokey tool to spread it around and make sure so that it didn't eke out anywhere. You're going to flip this over so that the arm is towards the bottom and the point is towards the next folded line, almost at the top, but not quite. And I'm pressing that down, and now we're going to put our next piece of adhesive on the inside of our white here, right up against the edge, on just to the inside of the score line or the dotted line right there. That's where I like to put it, and we're going to scoot this in here and attach it. Ta-da! And now we have a card that has a mechanism on the inside of it. Now I'm going to go ahead and place my little mouse where I want it. We're going to trim the top of the bar off. You can do that. Don't forget that. You can find where you want it, place it, and if it's too tall, then trim it down. Not a problem. I'm going to put my adhesive on the bar itself, and then I'm going to place my mouse on there. Now he's going to be throwing snowballs, so we've got to attach that little snowball, little dot of glue. Make sure that that does not get on your background. Ta-da! Now we're going to take our scissors. And because I placed the adhesive in the middle of his body instead of at the top, I can just put my scissors under there and trim it off, and you don't see it at all. Now we're going to go ahead and place all of our other little elements here. I snapped a picture of this before I took everything off the card. I took my cell phone and just snapped a really quick picture of it so that I could see where everything went before I put it together. Don't forget to head over to the ScrapbookPal store and snag all of your Christmas card needs and wants. Get you some Copic markers and color up some things and make some cards for some people this year for your Christmas. I know we're talking about this in September, but when you make Christmas cards or winter cards or anything like that, now's the time to get the stuff and get them done, because it gets to be a hectic time of the year. Now we have Snowball fight, and we're throwing snowballs over top of each other, so of course we have a mouse that's ducking over here. And this is just so stinking cute. I love all of this. This is so cute. And I love how it's kind of muted tones on this. I enjoyed making this so much. It was so much fun. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I hope that you go over and snag all of the Lawn Fawn winter release over at the store at ScrapbookPal.com. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of our other design team creations. And absolutely wonderful, wonderful team here. Thank you so much. Here it is in action. Look at that. That dude is just coming up. And then I also have a short over on Instagram. Check it out. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.